And it's our pleasure to welcome Rob Lees back from Mortgage Choice.
Hi, Rob.
Hi Andrea. Hi, Peter. Good to be here again.
Yes, and we only saw you on Friday night.
That's right, Friday night. Did you have a good time?
We did have a good time. I'm a bit tired, but
Actually,
it was a good
you know
time.
what I realised I just did?
Yeah.
We didn't play our... Because we had that pre-recorded show with Catherine,
Yep.
and I played that ad, and we should have gone to a song, which we didn't. Anyway, we'll give you some more airtime.
No, never mind.
Rob.
Never
Well,
mind.
we're going to talk about something new and exciting that you're starting
That's
today.
right.
I think that's pretty cool.
I thought I'd do this. Normally I talk more generic, but I thought I'm pretty pumped up.
Give yourself a bit
pumped
of a
about
plug.
this, and I thought we'd have a chat about it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so wealth creation strategy meeting.
That's right. That's right.
Tell us.
Well,
more.
it's really just a personalised wealth creation workshop. So rather than a workshop that happens with a whole bunch of people, it's personalised just with the client, and would be a meeting simply with our financial planner and myself. So experienced financial professionals, and it just gives people an opportunity to identify what their goals are and to get a big picture in terms of where they want to go. I guess a key thing for me is trying to drill down is, into what it is they're really wanting to achieve.
The why.
Yeah, that's right. Why do you want to buy an investment property? What's behind that, and actually trying to work out the strategies that are going to help achieve those goals. And so we'd start pretty much with a blank sheet of paper, or really with there's a whiteboard in front of me here in the studio. A whiteboard like that is what we need. Mm-hmm. We're going to get. And we'll jot down all the goals and try and drill down into that and come up with some strategies. So out of that, the financial planner will put together a very detailed financial plan. And I suppose this is, to me, it's being responsible rather than, a lot of the time people come in and they say, we want to buy an investment property. We pre-qualify them, set them up for the loan, and it's looked at in isolation. Whereas this is going to look at the big picture. We're going to do cash flow projections. We're going to check affordability and make sure that we're going to get them to where they really want to.
Yeah, so big picture. What I understand that to be is you're going to be finding out what do people want to actually earn in their retirement. Well, how do they want to live? What do they want to do? They want to go away.
That's one goal. That's one goal. So those sorts of things. Yeah. So specifically,
there's generally a number of those, isn't there, Rob?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So
and
there
it's
might be a bunch of different
those.
goals.
That's people sort of have them, at that high level, but it's the difficulty. Well, it's not going to be difficult because you're so good at what you do, but it'll be asking those questions that identify what those number of goals are, and then giving you the ability to talk them through and help them achieve them.
Yeah, and identify what it is they really want to achieve. Because sometimes too, people, they talk at a barbecue, everyone buys investment properties, everyone's buying property within super. But is this the right thing for you?
Yeah.
Is this the right thing for you?
And why do you want it?
Not be.
You don't want it
That's
just because your neighbour said you should have an investment property.
Right.
You've got to find that why. In on personally and in business, it's that why. It's actually a really difficult thing to nail down.
Well, I would actually say that sometimes there's possible. It's a bit like career. It's like the opposite end of career. You don't know what you don't know. So there's possibilities probably that you might not have considered. Are they things that you would?
Yeah, look, and the whole
table?
idea with the whiteboard is we can strategize, and that's the thing I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And drawing, I do things on A4 pieces of paper at the moment. We're going to do this, but rather than just scribbling on a piece of paper, I guess we're going to be a bit more accountable because it's going to go into a financial plan. And then we're going to, and more so the financial planner is going to project manage that implementation if people want to go ahead with that, and then refer out to a bunch of different specialists. So
you'll literally come up with the plan with the client. So you'll strategize what's important to them and highlight those things, then present something back to them. Then will you manage that process and make them accountable?
That might be there. Yeah. So this is the thing which I'm really excited about because it's more holistic and it's thorough, it's big picture. This is where we're going, and there's a plan to it rather than let's buy a property here and let's look at our super here.
And you just want fixed or variable.
We're looking at the big picture, and we have, we can refer out to, obviously if they're going to get a loan, with one of our mortgage brokers, financial planner, if there's insurance, if they're protecting what they have. We have property referral specialists that we can refer out to now to help them find the property that's going to be right for them. If they need to set up different structures, companies, trusts, go to an accountant.
Isn't it, Rob? It's about, your mortgage broker is going to do one thing, but what you're doing is positioning at a bunch of professionals.
That's right.
And drawing
that's right.
on all that
Yep.
expertise.
Yep.
So you're not going to get that in all organisations. You might get it if you choose to deal with your bank, but
Yep.
it's going to be bank focused on
Yep.
what they can
Yep.
provide. But you're going to align with a whole bunch of professionals that, you need this little bit. Then this person
Yeah.
can help
And
you. Or
it's we would look at the big picture. We can strategize and then refer to the specialists to implement whatever
That's
those
fantastic.
strategies are to set
Yeah.
up. And it can be a whole lot of different things. There's so many things people come up with. It's not just property. A lot of financial planners don't actually recommend property. I know when I was with a financial planner, we couldn't. We weren't allowed. We could acknowledge a goal, but we couldn't actually recommend it. But it might be other things. It might be, blended families, and they're trying to work out. They've got adult kids from first marriage, and then they've got a second marriage now with little kids. How do we work that out when we
That's my
pass away?
scenario.
And that's a common
Yeah.
situation. So some strategies there that would involve things like estate planning, and it may be referring back to a solicitor. It may be setting up a testamentary trust. It might not be. It might be putting insurance in place so that everyone's provided for. But it's all those kinds of things that might come into it.
That's my scenario, and it's interesting just on that particular topic because the 3 children from the previous marriages have got their ex-partners that they're potentially taken care of with that other half parent, whereas the ones that are my children now, well, they only have us.
How do you do that? It's not one size fits all.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Everyone's different, and trying to work that out because usually with adult kids too, if something was to happen when you do pass away, they feel like they want to get something from their dad's estate.
Yeah.
And it leaves a lot of resentment if the new wife gets everything. So how do you work that out?
Yeah.
And that's an individualised thing. But there's strategies that can be put in place for that.
So what are some of the other benefits that people could? That's a good example of a blended family. But what are some other examples or benefits that people could achieve from having a strategy meeting?
I think it just puts everything in context.
Yep.
So it's looking at the whole situation. So it's holistic. It means if you're going to buy property, why is this for retirement? How do we blend the two together? The retirement plan inside of super and maybe a wealth creation plan outside of super. Is it that you want those funds before you retire, for example? And it might be as specific as even trying to work out the kind of property that you should be buying. Not actually giving property advice, but should it be negatively geared or positively geared? Should it be a new property or an established property, and things like that?
Do you find, Rob, I find a lot in when I'm talking to my clients that there's this expectation that our clients think they're supposed to know our job. Now, I'm talking not on such a large level that you're referring to here, but I say this all the time. I don't expect, I can't come in and do your job. I probably could come in and do Rob's job, but I couldn't come in and do Andrea's job. I couldn't come in like I could be talking to an electrician. I can't come in and do your job. But because it's your own finances, people feel that they need to own it and they don't understand it. So they're almost embarrassed to actually come forward and say, seek that professional advice, isn't it?
A lot of
So
people,
what is that though? Are people embarrassed or frightened?
I think
Like
they
what is
assume
the
they should
drive?
know it.
don't
because
know
it's
how to
their-
get started. So
they don't know how to
often a
get
lot of
started.
people want to buy an investment property. Classic conversation.
Yep.
They don't understand. So do you know what negative gearing means? And they look at each other. They don't really want to admit it. I'll show you.
Yeah.
And I explain some of those sorts of
Yeah.
terms to them. They're the sort of things we'll do in this kind of strategy workshop.
Yeah.
So they understand, because if we understand, we make better
Informed decisions. Absolutely.
See, my thing would be I have no problem with seeking the advice. It's just that, but I think people think they need to have a certain amount of money. Like for us at the moment, we're still in survival mode. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
A lot of families are.
when we do that, it's like, well, we don't think that qualifies.
Yeah.
So that is for people like that. Do you think that's
what we're going to do with this? Because we actually do get a referral fee when we go to these property specialists,
Right.
which I've struggled with. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cover the full cost of the financial plan, because I feel like, to me, it's responsible. I want them to get advice before they go into this, so it's really thorough and it's right for them, because it's just so important to me it's right.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not
I
just
love that,
pushing
Rob.
people into things where they've been sold to, and
and unfortunately, I think in our industry, there is a lot of that. So a big kudos to you for taking that extra step around really looking after your client and making sure that they're getting that holistic advice. And you're 100% you're a leader in our industry, and
Well, that's
I
why you're an
congratulate you on
award-winning mortgage broker.
Well, we're sort of learning all the time, and some of this is this last question here, and this is sort of how this initiated. I had a great experience in the early 2000s. I was that person trying to work it out. I was an accountant. I've got an accounting degree, and I didn't know how to get started.
Yeah.
I didn't really even know how negative gearing worked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't admit that.
As an accountant.
Well, I did, but I didn't.
Yeah, right.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never really
Because I'd
explored
never done
it
it.
enough. Yeah.
I'd never done it myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was when a friend of mine became a financial planner. I knew I wanted to do something. I said, I'll be your first client.
Yep.
And his recommendation in that plan was to buy property. And everything was put together. This is what they did. This is exactly what they did for us. It was a great experience. And I think now we're in a position where we can replicate that and give our clients exactly the same experience. And a lot of it too, even about property specialists, a lot of people, and you might find this, Peter, people come in and they've been sold to a property somewhere that's just totally inappropriate. And I'm getting sick of it. People that you don't always make money on property if you're buying in the wrong spot, and they're sold to over the phone. I had some clients who sold to, they went down to a seminar in Melbourne, flown down to Melbourne, didn't even see the properties they were going to buy, and they signed up. They're my age, 57, and they bought a investment property and a property within self-managed super, and it was totally wrong.
Oh, okay.
And that's the sort of thing that I want to address. Why would you go somewhere interstate with someone you don't know? Why not deal with someone you already know and trust, who you're going to run into in the supermarket?
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm going to have to look you in the eye and say g'day, and not feel like I've done the wrong thing by you.
Yes.
But what a fantastic testimonial for your own business that you were the accountant that really didn't.
Don't tell anyone that. Don't tell anyone. I did, but I
Just
didn't,
shared
if
it
you know
with
what
the
I
mount
mean.
at the Blue
Oh,
Mountain.
no.
But I love that honesty in you, and I love the fact that you're your own best testimonial, because you've walked the road yourself to say, you know what, there's more knowledge out there to be had. Let me share it with you. I think that's amazing.
Well, for me, what I'm sitting here and feeling joyful about is that there are a lot of wonderful business owners and business people that have integrity.
Yeah.
All around us.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time we get the bad press. We talk about the people without integrity or ripping people off. But I think there's some really great people like yourselves who've got some great integrity and do a great service to our community. So, yeah, good on you, Rob.
Rob, can I be so bold and ask you, you said you're going to cover the charge for the plan. So there's still no fee from the client?
No, so it's and I suppose this was part of my experience back in the early 2000s where that fee was covered. And I find there's a lot of murkiness in financial services.
Yep.
We do get a referral fee from the property referral company.
Yep.
And I've struggled with that. I've bought properties through some of these referral companies to test this out myself. But I feel like there's a bit of it actually creates a conflict of interest for me. So so the reason really for me is the financial plan covers that off.
Yeah.
I feel it's more responsible. And that's
fantastic.
I feel more comfortable because I think there's value with these people, but otherwise I think it could be seen as a conflict of interest.
Yeah,
and I don't want that.
The disclosure is perfect, isn't it? You're up front. This is how it works.
Yep.
But I'm reinvesting not only back in my business, but I'm reinvesting back in you, the client.
And people don't have to go through our property specialist. It's an option that's there.
Yeah. Rob, I love your new initiative. I'm excited for you.
I'm excited about it too. Yeah,
I think
very much so.
Yeah, and so you've in your email to us the topic that you can talk about. So you've actually got new premises that you're going to be able to operate.
Yeah, we're actually extending upstairs as well. So we're just going to create a nice
big
fancy
workshop room,
boardroom. You know,
Very
and
cool.
we can have workshops up there with a nice big whiteboard and stuff like that.
And you'll be able to do some funky stuff, like put that instead of having
sorts of
carpet,
funky stuff,
you
I'm
put
sure.
what's that pretend grass, and they're all the cool things.
Yeah, right. We hadn't thought about that
You're
one.
moving into a realm that he hasn't even thought of, Pete. If you want some more information on the strategy meeting, contact Mortgage Choice at Blaxland on 4729 9749, or you can drop into their office at 3/13 Hope Street, Blaxland.
That's
and
it.
they can also Google you too, can't they?
That's
Rob?
right.
Fantastic.
Rob,
Well,
you're
it's
awesome.
lovely
Thank
to
you
see
so
you.
much.
Great to be here again.
Are we back one more time? Are you back one more time for the end of the year?
Yep, that's right.
The business show?
And I think
Okay,
next time we'll look at what we can expect financially in 2017.
Fantastic. And then we'll have our Christmas
Sounds good.
party on the 19th. So
Sounds good.
that's awesome.